Hello and welcome to this new section on how to gain leadership buy-in and the first lecture of that in this course in Agile HR, and there we are looking at how to implement Agile HR. So in this section we will talk about how can you gain leadership buy-in to implement Agile HR, and in particularly here we are going to talk about how can you ensure that your leadership understands Agile HR and the benefits it will bring to the organization. So how do you think you can gain leadership buy-in? Any thoughts? Okay, now gaining leadership buy-in basically requires three things. One, you need to educate leaders. You need to ensure that your leadership understands the agile HR and the benefit it will bring to the organization, which we will talk about the rest of the lecture. And these benefits could be such as faster decision making, increased employee engagement, and flexibility in adapting to business changes. Second thing to gain leadership buy-in is to show how Agile HR supports broader business goals such as digital transformation, faster innovation, or improved employee productivity. And the last of the things that you need to do is to identify senior leaders or managers who can act as champions for Agile HR and help drive the change within the organization. Right. So these are the three things you need to do. Let's take a look at how to go about ensuring leaderships understands, educate the leaders so that they understand how Agile HR and the benefits it will bring to the organization. So how do you think that will happen? So ensuring leadership understand Agile HR and its benefit is obviously important for successfully implementing Agile practices within the organization. Now, leadership buying is essential because they influence decision making, they set the tone for the organizational culture, and they allocate resources. So, if you do not have leadership buying in the whole project of Agile HR, nothing is going to move. Now, how can you ensure leadership understands Agile HR and the advantages it brings in? Any thoughts? Let's take a look at that. So, what you need to do is start by organizing workshops, seminars, and presentations for leadership on core principles of Agile HR like adaptability, continuous feedback, and cross-functional collaboration. So, hold these events on the core principles of Agile HR. Now, many leaders may be familiar with Agile in product development or IT, but may not fully understand how it will apply to HR. Educating them on how Agile HR can improve flexibility, responsiveness, and employee centric processes is critical and important. So, to do that, what you need to do is to use real world examples of Agile HR transformation from companies like ING, Spotify, or Unilever to show the practical results. And that should start convincing them. It takes a time for leadership to get convinced. So start with educating, allow them to ask questions, show them the data and the evidence, and they will start aligning with you. You need to then align Agile HR with business goals. There to convince your leaders, to educate your leaders. So connect Agile HR principles with broader organizational goals and challenges, like improving employee productivity, enhancing innovation, reducing turnover, and improving customer satisfaction. And these are the key words that your leadership understands. So understand what are the keywords and connect your agile HR principles to them. Now, leadership is more likely to buy agile HR if they can see how it can directly contribute to achieving business objectives. Show how agile HR can enable faster decision making and a more efficient talent acquisition, helping meet key business objectives. For example, demonstrate how Agile HR can speed up hiring, reduce bottlenecks, and enhance team alignment with the organizational strategy, and show that how continuous feedback can improve employee productivity and engagement, directly impacting business outcomes. So ultimately, you need to talk in terms of how it will ultimately affect the business goals positively. Highlight the benefits of Agile HR to educate them. Break down the specific benefits of Agile HR into concrete outcomes such as faster decision making, increased employee engagement, flexibility, and cost efficiency. Now, leadership is more likely to invest in Agile HR when they understand the specific value it brings in. Use data and case study to illustrate these benefits. For faster decision, explain how Agile HR decentralizes decision making, allowing teams to make faster data-driven decisions without waiting for top-down approvals. For increased employee engagement, show how continuous feedback, employee-driven development, and flexibility will lead to higher engagement and flexibility, and demonstrate how Agile HR allows for quick adaptation for business changes, whether it is a shift in market demand or organizational restructuring. So that's how you need to highlight the benefits of Agile HR to educate your top leaders. Then present success stories and case studies. You know, present success stories and case studies of companies that have successfully implemented Agile HR and the measurable results they achieved. Now, seeing tangible results from other organizations can make a strong case for leadership to embrace Agile HR. Use companies like ING, uh, where they transition to Agile HR to improve employee experience and alignment with business strategy, resulting in higher engagement. You talk about Spotify, which adopted Agile HR to promote continuous learning, fluid team structures, and real-time feedback, leading to innovation and flexibility. Talk about Unilever, who shifted to Agile HR for faster decision making and adaptability, enhancing their recruitment and talent development processes. Right. Conduct pilot Agile HR initiatives to convince and demonstrate. Propose a small scale Agile HR project, example Agile performance management or recruitment, and then show the leadership how the work process works and its potential impact. Leadership is more likely to support Agile HR if they see it in action and understands how it can be applied incrementally. Start with a specific HR process like performance management or recruitment, as we were talking. Use sprints, short work cycles to test, iterate, and refine the process. Collect data to show improvements in speed, employee satisfaction, or efficiency, and then present the results to leadership. Demonstrate the link between Agile HR and employee engagement. Show leadership how Agile HR can increase employee engagement through more personalized development paths, continuous feedback, and flexible work arrangements. Uh, Employee engagement will directly impact productivity, innovation, and retention. Explain that. When leadership understands how Agile HR contributes to a more engaged and motivated workforce, they are more likely to support its implementation. As a example, provide statistics and data that links Agile HR practice with higher employee engagement. For example, show how frequent feedbacks and employee-driven career development results in higher employee satisfaction and reduced turnover. Use data to show current HR challenges to educate your leaders. There, what you need to do is to use HR matrices to highlight existing inefficiencies in the organization, and these could be like long hiring cycles, high turnover rates, or disengaged employee. Now, leadership is often driven by data. Showing them the current state of HR efficiencies or inefficiencies help you make a compelling case for change. With these three things, let's say for example, you will need to present the data. You will need to show how current recruitment processes are slow and inefficient, and use data to highlight high turnover rates and the need for a more engaged workforce, and illustrate how traditional performance reviews fail to provide timely feedback and actionable improvement. and then explain how Agile HR can address these issues by implementing continuous feedback loop and shorter hiring cycles. Involve leadership in Agile hiring, invite them to participate in Agile training sessions or workshops. Hands-on experience in Agile practices will help leadership understand how Agile HR works and how it can be applied to HR. Conduct training on Agile methodologies like Scrum, Kanban, and design thinking for them that can be applied to HR context. Include leadership in retrospect sessions and sprints if you start organizing them. Evaluation meetings after each point, so that how can they can see how Agile focuses on continuous improvement. Show your leaders agility in practice. Demonstrate Agile HR processes in action, such as short iterative sprints, continuous feedback loops, and cross-functional collaboration. Leadership often needs to see Agile in action to understand how it differs from traditional HR processes. Implement Agile HR in smaller HR functions like recruitment, learning, or development. To quickly demonstrate effectiveness, use stand-up or daily short meetings to showcase transparency, quick decision making, and collaboration. Illustrate long-term gains because that's the focus of the leadership team. Help leadership team understand the long-term benefits of Agile HR, such as more adaptable workforce, improved innovation, and sustained employee engagement. Now, Agile HR is just not about quick win. It helps build a culture of continuous improvement. When leadership understands the long-term benefits, they are more likely to fully support the initiative. Present projections showing how Agile HR will help an organization remain competitive in rapidly changing markets. Highlight benefits like increased speed, increased speed of action, employee retention, improve adaptability to change, and ability to attract top talent through more responsive and engaging HR practices. So, having looked at how to educate your leaders, what do we do next? So, one other thing that you need to do to gain leadership mind is to show how Agile HR is aligned with the business strategy, and that's what how to do that is what we will discuss in the next lecture. So, thank you so much for watching this first lecture on how to gain leadership mind in implementing Agile HR in this course. I hope you continue to learn new things, continue to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.